Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for July 19th. Currently looking at the US Japanese yen pair. This particular pair we have closed up on Friday, created an inside bar, so we could have a breakout. Definitely something to keep an eye on over this next session going into this new week. Also have this pair moving sideways with the bias that is sideways. Definitely look for this pair to potentially go as high as 94.99. Possibly as low as 92.73. Look for some resistance around 94.50 and look for some support at 93.75 in this particular pair. Now, switching to the Euro USD pair, this particular pair, we have an inside bar that was created as well during Friday's session, closed down. This pair is moving sideways overall, biased to sideways. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 142.48, possibly as low as 139.73. Look for some resistance around 141.41 and look for some support around 140.72 in this particular pair. Now, looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed down. It's moving sideways, biased is sideways. Look for this pair to potentially move as high as 165.63, possibly as low as 161.48. Look for some resistance around 163.79 and look for some support around 162.64 in this particular pair. Now, looking at the US Swiss, this pair opened up a little bit, gapped up a little bit from Friday's close, did close up, still moving sideways, bias is still sideways. We are currently looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 108.94, possibly as low as 10650. Now look for some resistance around 10800 and look for some support around 10705 in this particular pair. No real news announcements going into tomorrow's session. As far as what I'm looking at during this next session, there were a lot of inside bars created, a lot of swing trade setups created. There's just a lot to look at in the markets in general. Something that the pound did that I wanted to show y'all real quick was we have a swing trade setup that occurred over this last 3 bars. We have a higher high here in the middle than the bar before it and the bar after it, and we also have a higher low than the bar before it and the bar after it. So when that occurs, would be a swing trade setup to the downside. Take your 2 lows there, draw your trend line. You have a breakout below this point, a short, which would be at the 162.44 level. The market moves lower. We have some potential points at which this pair could hit some previous support. You definitely you definitely need to keep an eye on those. One would be right here, and another one would be here and here. This range between this session's low and this session's high would be the range that I would want to exit at, obviously because it's a little bit lower in the market, somewhere between, I think the top one was around 90 and this one was around 100, somewhere in there, maybe a little over 100 pips. Obviously that's much better than right here, but the market doesn't always do what you want it to do. So, at this point, this would be a great place to go to break even. And you need to keep that in mind when you're looking at trades in the market. You need to look at previous areas of support and resistance. Where logically would the market or could the market hit these points, and look for possible pullbacks in that, because if the market pushes through it to that point and starts to hesitate, you may want to move your stop loss to break even, and this will save you tons of money in the long run. I know you'll probably be stopped out a little more, but it'll save you money. And when it does run on through to your point, to your second point or third point, sometimes even the fourth point of support, if you're going short, or resistance if you're going long, that's great, but you need to kind of trail it, move your stop loss at those points along the way. And really the only way to do that is just over time to look for areas of support and resistance and analyze the market and look for those areas. And typically it's an area, not a price, as we saw right here. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.